Ranking Member Meeks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for organizing this hearing. Our export controls are critical to our national security and our strategic competition with China. So it's important to have a public debate on this topic. I also would like to thank our three esteemed witnesses for appearing before this committee. In an environment where it seems that Democrats and Republicans can't agree on much, there seems to be an overwhelming consensus that America must lead the AI race. This requires investing in and supporting research and innovation here at home while promoting the spread of American AI technologies globally. It also requires ensuring that we are not contributing to the military and frontier AI capabilities of our chief competitor, the People's Republic of China. It would be an understatement to say that I'm concerned about the Trump administration's export control policy. I'm not simply concerned, I am alarmed, because this administration is ceding our advantages in the AI race and actively undermining our national security. The administration has used our export controls not as a vital national security tool, but as a bargaining chip in tariff negotiations with China. Desperate to resolve the trade war he started, Donald Trump has made multiple concessions to China to secure a trade deal. Trump rolled back his own export controls, first on selling the H200 chip to China, then on the 50% affiliates rule, and now he's dead set on rolling back restrictions that the Biden administration put in place to ensure that our most advanced chips aren't sold to China. Last month, the president announced that he would greenlight the sale of NVIDIA's H200 chips to China, which the administration just formalized yesterday. This is a strategic mistake that will harm our advantage in the AI race and do grave damage to our national security. Just last month, when the Trump Justice Department charged two PRC individuals for smuggling H200s, it stated, "These chips are the building blocks of AI superiority and are integral to modern military applications," and I unquote. Additionally, the administration's proposal to seize 25% of the profits of H200 sales to China raises all kinds of legal, ethical, and policy questions. The Export Control Reform Act of 2018 is clear. No fees may be charged in connection with the consideration of any application for a license approval. Our national security should not be negotiable, and it should not be for sale. And that's why last month I introduced the Restrict Act to ban the sale of H200s to China and to codify the Biden administration's restrictions on the most advanced U.S. chips sales to China. Also last month, I sent a letter to the Department of Commerce requesting license information on advanced chip sales to China, as well as copies of any government-to-government agreements related to advanced chips exports. Despite my January 12th deadline, the Commerce Department has yet to provide the information I requested. Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask for unanimous consent to submit that letter into the record.
So ordered.
Again, I want to thank this panel of witnesses for appearing here today, but comprehensive oversight means we must also have administration officials testify publicly on this topic so that our members at this committee can conduct proper oversight. The stakes of the AI race and for our national security are too consequential. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for the opportunity to give my opening statement at this particular point, knowing that I couldn't get here, and thank you for that opportunity to do just that. Should I proceed with my questions? Thank you. So, the president has said that he will not approve H200 licenses for bad actors in China. While this does not ally concerns about smuggling and diversions, I'm also skeptical that the administration will pick the right customers from the start. So, Mr. Pottinger, which foreign company is our biggest competition when it comes to developing the most advanced AI models?
The main Chinese companies, there's several of them. It includes DeepSeek, it includes Zhipu AI, Alibaba, ByteDance, which of course runs the TikTok algorithms that have distorted public discourse in this country, and there are many others, sir.
Yes, and DeepSeek is really one of the big ones. And would you agree that DeepSeek, for example, thus far has been constrained by our chip export controls?
The companies, from what I'm reading, that these Chinese companies have already ordered up something like 2 million of these chips since the decision was made to start.
But my question was, do you agree that until it was found out that they were constrained beforehand?
Absolutely, and they fear that the gap would continue growing, but for the H200s.
And Mr. Feiner, could DeepSeek's open source models have been even more advanced if it had access to our more advanced chips?
Thank you, Ranking Member Meeks. I think the answer to that is undeniably yes. DeepSeek's model was built essentially on U.S. chips it acquired before export controls went into place, probably some chips that were smuggled subsequent to export controls going into place, and giving them access to more advanced chips will only allow them to build a better model. And by the way, you don't have to take my word for it. The DeepSeek CEO himself was recently quoted as saying, "Our problem has never been funding, it's the embargo on high-end chips."
And so you also think selling H200s to DeepSeek could hurt our lead in the AI race?
Yes.
I agree. It appears the administration does not, though. In fact, when a member of this committee asked the BIS Undersecretary to commit to denying H200 licenses for DeepSeek, he refused. So if this administration can't promise that they won't sell H200s to DeepSeek, how can we have any faith that it will make sound judgments about which end users in China should be approved for H200s? Let me go to something else that I'm deeply concerned about, and that's the idea that export controls could be used as a chit in trade deals. I'm interested if any of our witnesses can see a scenario where we should use export controls, which is at its core a national security function, as a bargaining chip on trade deals, as the administration has admitted it is doing. Let me start, I guess, with you, Mr. Feiner. What's your view on whether we should bargain away export controls for trade deals, and what does it mean for our credibility with allies and partners, and how it could impact our broader export controls framework?
I believe a good principle, a ranking member, is not to barter, exchange, or negotiate issues of national security in the context of trade negotiations or other economic challenges, whether that's national security-related export controls or doctrinal policy toward Taiwan or any number of other national security issues we have with the PRC.
Mr. Pottinger?
I second that.
Mr. Cass?
Certainly in the context of the negotiations they've been holding, there's nothing to negotiate. China's not able to offer anything of value because it's not interested in actually having a constructive relationship with the United States.
So let me ask, this will be my last question. By rolling back our controls against China, has the administration created incentives for our partners to do the same thing? And what impact do you think it has on working with allies and partners on export controls against China in the future? Mr. Feiner?
So I mentioned in my opening statement, as did some of the others, we haven't focused on it as much in the questions, but the other key control that is placed on technology going to China is semiconductor manufacturing equipment. And there is almost an explicit, certainly an implicit understanding among the United States and then the other countries that make this SME that if we are going to ask of them not to give their companies access to the Chinese market to sell SME, we should be asking the same thing of our chip makers, not to have access to the Chinese market for the most advanced semiconductors. If we roll back or erode the restrictions on our own companies, certainly the incentive is there for them to roll back or erode the restrictions they're placing on their own companies, and that's one of the big concerns I have about the recent announcement related to the H200.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Meeks. And I don't know if the ranking member had a chance to read the final rule issued yesterday or not, but it does state very clearly, no chips will be approved if there is a military end user, and there are very specific controls in it to ensure no remote access by a number of end users as well, which is something new, whether that's for Belarus, China, Cuba, Iran, Macau, North Korea, Russia, Venezuela, as well as parent companies' headquarters in those places. And the rule, as I submitted it for the record, also states no chips can be approved at the expense of Americans. So it's important to note those things are in that final rule as well. And I now recognize Representative Perry.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I think it's also